Hi, welcome back to my channel, IKanSew. I am Kendra, and I'm just here to go over my thoughts on Simplicity and McCall's merger versus rebranding, and those are the like. Now, I told you in a previous video that I was going to. Oh, my glasses are doing something funky. I told you in a previous video that I was going to take notes. I took notes. So let's go over my notes here. First of all, the first thing I want to say is that Simplicity and McCall sent out a message maybe a year and a half ago that they were merging, or that more so that McCall bought Simplicity, right? So when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's kind of, we'll see how that goes, because I love the competitive edge that companies have when they are, when they have the similar, you know what I mean, when they have the similar items, but they're forced to compete with each other. They're forced to step up the game in terms of style and like, who they collaborate with, and just like bring it when they bring it to us, right? So that we are running out there saying, "Oh my goodness, I want that. I want," you know. But when you have one company that oversees uh, kind of both lines, both brands, it tends to one. It's hard to allow both lines to shine when you have that type of situation. You guys don't pay attention to the noise in the background. I'm in a room that's close to the street. So, and I like the breeze coming through. So, yeah, I'm not closing the window. I am that girl that has the window and the doors open when possible, as opposed to, and the ceiling fan on, as opposed to turning on the air condition. It's not hot. I just like breeze, and I like things to be airy. So anyhow, back to what I was saying. So my purpose of taking notes was to stay on task. So what I have noticed is that McCall wants to be the younger, hip version of of pattern style. They kept Vogue as being the more sophisticated woman look. I still have not figured out what the heck is going on with Butterick, because to be honest with you, I only like Butterick when I see other people in Butterick style. When I look at Butterick on the envelope, it doesn't do it for me. So it's always when I see somebody else's version that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's, let me, okay. I bought one dress recently from them, and I was so shocked that it was cute on the envelope. So I don't, yeah, I haven't figured out who their audience is. I just haven't. So anyhow, back to Simplicity. At one point, I felt like Simplicity and McCall had the same audience, so I loved it. But now, like I said in my last video, I don't know who Simplicity's audience member is. I don't. And um it's not that like looking at the line drawings at the clothes is not something that people would want, but it takes a lot of imagination. And that's not what you want when you are thinking about marketing stuff to people, right? You don't want all these boring colors on there, and they just look like, oh my god, they look like the world was bombed, and we here are the clothes we made in the aftermath with the natural fibers we could find, and this is what was left. That's just what it looks like to me. And so again, it's not until I see other people who can visualize um these same outfits in multiple fabrics and multiple pattern pieces and multiple prints that I then go back and say, oh, okay, that's what that's supposed to look like. Whereas if you look at McCall's brings out all the pizzazz, right? They put so much color in it, you'd be like, well, okay. Like they have this thing where they put like an orange and a pink together. Like I wouldn't wear orange and pink, but they're showing you how you can color block it, right? So it looks cute. Now Simplicity recently, their logo was boring. I have it right here because I'm gonna talk about the same one. Their logo was boring. Yes, it's simple. It's simple. I get it. Along with the word simplicity, I get it. She does have a flower on here, but I'm thinking they just giving us the most because it's springtime. But let me tell you about this pattern. Does this look familiar to you? Does it? You know why? Because McCall made this same pattern last year. Yes, they did. Go look at it. Go look it up. McCall made the same pattern last year. A lot of popular sewers have sewn it, and sewists have sewn it, and they have it on Instagram right now. It's on patternreview.com right now. So McCall had the nerve to repackage their pattern in the simplicity bag. See, this is something they would not be able to do had they been two different brands, right? They wouldn't have been able to take this and said, okay. And it was like really bright colors, very vibrant on the McCall package. So again, I have not been impressed. Now let's get back to McCall. So McCall was trying to do this thing where they were trying to get in tune with the social media folks now. And while if you follow McCall on social media, and you follow sewing the sewing community on social media like Instagram and Facebook, you'll see that the hashtag that they use is the number of the pattern, right? That should be enough. And that's very helpful because if you do the hashtag with the number, for example, oh my gosh, let me see. I have a whole bunch here because I just like showed it. So let me see. Yeah, let's go over this one. So if you want 8115, right? You will see that a lot of people will just say hashtag 8115, right? That helps in multiple ways. Not only will I get to, can look up hashtag, but that number is what I will see when I go to the store and look in the drawer for it, right? Or I go online and I look for it. McCall brought this fancy idea up of doing hashtag names, and they wanted to name all their patterns pieces. Now, again, what I'm showing you, this one here. Now, I'm just telling you that when I go to the store, it is not helpful that you have the name on here because it is not in your drawers by the name. So I never really caught up with the name thing, and I have not bought anything from McCall that they just came out with. They've also changed from this pre-spring to regular spring to pre-summer to regular summer. They've gone away from that type of seasonal thing. And now I believe what they came out with just recently, according to In the Hymn or On the Hymn, In the Hymn, I think, because I really watch her a lot. They have gone to this thing where there's like, you can wear this in the fall. Well, excuse me. Oh. Okay. Back to my notes. Back to my notes. So, um, now they've also gone away from McCall. McCall has also gone away from the hashtag and naming the style. They have gone back to just the number, which they should have stuck with the number. And again, if you watch my last video, I said I'm not going to bash McCall because I feel like they needed, and Simplicity. Well, McCall, because McCall owns Simplicity. I feel like they needed time to kind of work out the kinks and the rebranding and see how people were flowing with this. So I'm sure their social media interactions realized that people were not a fan of the name, of the Sierra, of the Lauren, of the, what's this other one called? Of the Judith, right? And so they've gone back to the number, which is very helpful. And thank you very much for paying attention to the feedback and actually correcting your mistake because it was a stupid one. Anyways, now, the other thing I want to say is I don't like the fact that I already did a video before about how they were repackaging their own products, but now you're repackaging, now you're sharing patterns across brands. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And that is not only is it lazy, number one, but it's very manipulative, number two, and it's expensive, number three, and it's angering, if that's a word. And I can't remember if that's a word or not. And I don't care. That's how I feel when I get home and realize that I have this pattern. And not only do I have this pattern under a different brand. That's not cool. So what you should do is just repackage it like you've done for other Simplicity things or other McCall things. Put it in your new envelope and then sell it that way. But don't sell it across brands. Now, if you're going to be a separate brand, be a separate brand. Now, let me tell you a little story because, I go down the rabbit hole. Hello, if you don't know me, and for those of you who do know me, I am Bugs Bunny. I'm always in a rabbit hole. Here's my rabbit hole. I don't know if any of you guys ever bought anything from Groupon or Living Social, but when Groupon first came out, they were, the concept was, it was all about group buying, right? So there may be like, let's say it's a $500 dinner, and the restaurant would say, we will offer this $500 dinner for $250 if we can get 100 people to sign up for this promotion. If they didn't, and they had a certain amount of time, like you had to get like a week, right? So if you didn't get 250 people in a week, and it was very localized, it was like DC only, right? Texas only. And so Groupon wasn't even everywhere because it was really based on like the metropolitan areas. So if you could get 250 people to sign up for this, then you would, then they would go forth and have, the deal would go through. I signed up a couple times, didn't get the deal because more people didn't sign up for what I signed up for. So Living Social came out and they did the same thing, same concept. We've got these group deals. It's about living socially, right? It's got these group deals, blah, blah, blah. Side note, Amazon used to own Living Social and they felt like Amazon Living Social was bringing down their stocks, so they sold them. To I don't know who, but they sold them, and then then all of a sudden Groupon started coming out with these like these, like, it was available nationally, it was available everywhere. So the exclusivity of it kind of went away, right? Because now you can go on there. You can still get things locally, but now they sell like all kinds of products and things you can get internationally. It just made a bigger deal. And what they do is they screw the businesses on the other end, because now the business on the other end, although they're getting our business, they need to wow us in a different way because the commission is so high towards Google. I mean, not Google, I'm sorry, Groupon, that, that's the thing. So one day, a couple years ago, I was looking to go somewhere, looking for something. I don't know. And I noticed that I didn't see it on Living Social. I said, well, let me go look in Groupon. It wasn't there either. So then something else I was looking for, I saw on Groupon. I said, well, let me see if Living Social has it cheaper because I used to go on Living Social and get it, right? And I realized it was the same price. I was like, okay. So I didn't buy it at the time. And this kind of went on for a minute until I realized they are selling the same exact thing. Like nothing is different. There's nothing different about these two brands anymore, right? So I Googled it and I found out that Groupon bought Living Social. I don't know why the two exist if you're going to sell the same thing and you're going to be the exact same thing. And that's not cool. I don't mind that the money go into one pot. That's your business. But it would be nice if you actually sold different products. Like, what makes Living Social and Groupon stand out from each other now? What does? I don't know. Because they sell the same thing. So I actually deleted one of the apps. I deleted Living Social as an app, actually, because they went away from having all the different events. They used to have a lot of different local events, and went away from that. And yeah, and so I just have the one. And it's the same thing with McCall and Simplicity. If you're going to cross brands, have patterns cross brands, what is going to make me, um, you're muddying the waters. You're muddying the waters, and it's just that. In terms of the quality is the same. I will say that what I like best about McCall was that McCall rated their, on the back of their fabric patterns, they rate them by ease, right? So easy, intermediate, or advanced. Same as Vogue, right? Simplicity doesn't do that. So I've always kind of gravitated towards McCall. Now you guys know I have an Is It So Easy like playlist, right? Or a series. Well, that only works when I do McCall or Vogue, which I haven't done a Vogue yet because Simplicity doesn't have that across the brand. They had their own separate. Ooh, they have their own separate. It's So Easy uh, brand. I mean, sub brand, but they don't have a they don't have a thing where it's just like it rates Just so you know that when you get home, you're not gonna have any drama because you're a beginning sewer and it's simple, really hard, and it's something that you can't tell, or it's gonna have a lot of crazy techniques that you're gonna have to Google and or watch 20 hours of YouTube videos for, right? And or are the instructions going to be written out so that you actually understand step by step what's going on? Because that is not the case with all patterns. So they don't have that. When another thing I noticed is that when McCall bought Simplicity, when you go to Walmart, which I used to go to Walmart all the time and get the very, very easy, kind of learn how to sew type patterns, it's so simple patterns. Now McCall has replaced all of Simplicities with McCalls. I'm a straightforward person. I would prefer McCall just to come out and say we bought you so we could demolish it. That would be helpful. I would be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what you do. That's what happens in business. You see a lot of people. You see Facebook and Google. You see them buying these businesses because the businesses are competition. They don't buy them and then try to play in your face like, oh no, we want both these groups to shine. Well, really, really, because there was nothing complicated about Simplicity. Um, Patterns that you sold in Walmart. Nothing complicated about them at all. They were very simple to make. They were like aprons, scrubs, like very, they had a couple of cute dresses, but the dresses had like 4 pieces, right? So there was no reason for McCall to step in and buy them and start branding themselves in the store. And let's be clear, they were $1.99 or 99 cents. When Simplicity was there, they're $2.99 now that they're there. So with that being said, I wish I could. Yeah, yeah. I would rather you just say, "That's how I feel." We're gonna just squash it. The last thing I want to say about McCall versus Simplicity is I want McCall just to move Mimi G over to them. I like Mimi G's style. I'm a part of a sewing community that loves Mimi G on so many different levels, and they're going to support her regardless of what pattern comes out, and that's great. The thing is, when Simplicity line comes out, because they look like they're in this post-apocalyptic world and everybody's depressed and they could barely grab, a washed out blue or tan or some type of like natural, all these natural fiber looking linen outfits, to put on because the skin hurts and that's the easiest thing that works for them. Um, then you have Mimi G. Her stuff is very fashionable. It's very fashionable. It's very youthful. It's very, see me, here I am. Some of it's close fitting. Some of it's just very, it's got a dramatic drape to it. It fits more in with what they have going on over in McCall now. So why don't you just move Mimi G over so that I can stop looking at Simplicity stuff altogether? I'm just saying. So anyhow, I know I told you guys that I was going to do a rant video and give you my opinion on this. I want to know your opinion on this. I want to know, am I the only one that thinks that McCall merged with Simplicity and we're no longer impressed with Simplicity? Like what? And the changes that they're doing, like they are going through serious growing pains. And you've just been around for a long time. I go to my grandmother's house and, she's got like very old McCall patterns. I see that you've been around for a long time. There's no reason why your brand should be going through these growing pains. It's like an identity crisis. You got me going through identity crisis. Hell, I've changed wigs 3 times a day. I mean, I'm just saying. Again, I wanted to come in and do a video that was not necessarily me sewing, but it would get me out here having a conversation with you again. If you actually saw my sewing mess, you would be like, what is going on here? Because I actually do have a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. And for the most part, all these are McCall, aren't they? Well, here's a Simplicity. All of my Simplicity stuff is old. I'm getting what Joann's and Hobby Lobby is like, baby, we gonna sell these. We're not getting rid of them. That's what I have. I don't even go to the newer stuff unless I went to the website and see that they rebranded like an old pattern, like, then I'll go and I'll get it because I was looking for it when it was older anyways. But for the most part, I stick with the old stuff. I don't have time to play these games with you. Your pattern, the envelope is boring. The stuff that people have, the clothes the women are wearing is boring. They're depressing. They remind me of all the stuff that Kanye West and he got Kim and those kids wearing. All depressive stuff. And I want to be happy when I see things. I want to be wow when I see things. I don't want to have to use. I've told you guys before that my imagination is not like that. So I don't want to see things and say, "Oh my God, would that look good in stripes? Would that look good in a bunch of different colors, like prints and stuff?" And what I have to do now is a lot of research to see if that's the case. That's not how marketing goes. That's not how marketing goes. That's not how it goes in um any industry. You're more like even with books, right? You're more attracted to the cover of books that you've never heard of than you are to like really boring books. It's not until someone else tells you, like, oh, I read this book, it was really good, that you will go get it. And no matter what the cover looks like, you'll get it, right? But that's because it's word of mouth. So now you have other people promoting you. You need to put your best foot forward and promote yourself. And again, I could show you guys some of the things I've been sewing lately. They probably would not excite you. I sewed an apron. I sold a couple dresses, a couple shirts. And I could show them to you. They didn't come out the best, so I wasn't like, "Ooh, I'm wearing this out somewhere." So, so that's pretty much why I don't have the videos up. But yeah, I've been doing so that's given me a lot of time to really think about it and go out and get it. And every time I hear that Joann's or um Hobby Lobby's having a sale, I go and get it. Something else, last thing I would like to say about this, and I promise you I'm getting off after this, is that McCall, Butterick, Quick Sew, and Vogue have all been lumped on this website called Something Delightful. Well, who knew that? I did not see anything advertised for it. I went to McCall's one day and I had it saved in my I had it saved in my favorites, and I kept getting an error message. I was Googling it and it didn't come up. And when I Googled it, and when I finally like put something in and it made something delightful come up, I thought it was a spam. I thought it was a Trojan or some type of virus. I was like, oh no, something's wrong with this. And then I started like Googling, like, did McCall change names? Like, what happened? And then kind of find out they're on this website called Something Delightful. And I would like to know what Something Delightful has to do with sewing. How would I how 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 would I have put the two together? I need you guys. And again, coming from a marketing, communication, PR practitioner, I need you guys to restaff. Either restaff or let your team do what they're supposed to do. Because it sounds like the one person who does not know what they're doing is running everybody else. And that is why you're going through these growing pains and these rebranding issues. So I want everybody to grow. I want you to have a great time, but do not take me along with your struggle. I am a consumer and I don't want to see your struggle. All right. Now, I want to thank everybody else for sitting with me through this struggle video as I rant, vent, and complain. Yes, they're all the same thing. So // about McCall and Simplicity. All right, you guys, you have a great day. Enjoy your time. It's kind of cloudy. I don't know if you noticed that the sun kind of changed on me as I was talking, and it's only 2 o'clock. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to finish up this shirt that I'm doing, and then I'm going to work on a dress. It actually came from a call, and it's got like the sides are cut out, right? So I'm interested to see how that looks on me. Have a good one.